Hey everybody, here's just a real quick preview of the plants that are going to be available at the plant sale. We have over 200 plants, tomato plants available in several different varieties, so feel free to check out that list below for all of the details on that. But there are just shelves and shelves and racks and racks and racks of them, as you can see. So there will be plenty to choose from. There is also going to be plenty of vining plants. These are going to be the cantaloupes and melons and just watermelon and honeydew and other types of plants that are going to be like winter squashes and pumpkins and different types of things like that. Zucchini and yellow squash and other types of summer squashes, as well as some herbs and things. So plenty and plenty of plants to be found, and we're going to have really good prices. If you compare the plants that we are going to be selling compared to the plants that are available in the big box stores, not only is there going to be huge varieties that we're not, aren't going to be available over there, but our prices are going to be, half or more. So several different types of lettuces and lots more, even lots and lots of pumpkins and different vining things. Lots of leafy greens and lots of tomatoes. So come on down to the plant sale. Hope to see you there. Well, hey there friends. Today is the day of my big plant sale, and I fully intended to have everything all set up and to show it all and then say, I'm hoping the sale goes well and everything, and I was really nervous about it and everything. But then 30 minutes before the plant sale even started, I started getting these early birds who were coming in wanting to look at the plants, and I hadn't set up the sunshade yet. I hadn't got the plant racks out. I hadn't set up the tables. I had basically done nothing. So, unfortunately, because of the early bird sales, I wasn't able to show everything before I had it all set up. I have to. It's been, 2 hours now, and it's been almost constant. There was one chance where I was able to run away and go set up some signs. So other than that, it's been pretty well constant. Lots and lots of people. I've had garage sales before, and this is way better than any garage sale I've ever had before. The plants are definitely in demand. And with the prices that they sell, Home Depot sells tomato plants for like $3.50, and their vining plants, things like zucchini and different things like that, those are all about $3.20 each. My plant sale, I'm selling the tomatoes for $1.50, and all the zucchinis, winter squashes, the peppers, cucumbers, melons, different things like that, I'm selling all of those for $1 each. And then all these other things like leafy greens with mustard greens, kale, lettuces and all that, those are all either 50 cents each or 5 for $2. So my prices are way better than theirs are. And yet still, there's people are just coming and coming and coming, and it's making quite a bit of money so far. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I've made at least $200 in the first 2 hours. So it's going really well. I was really nervous about it. I wasn't sure if it was going to go well, and I was nervous for a reason, because it swarms of people, but that's good. I'd rather it be really busy than not busy enough. So there you go. The plant sale's going well. I guess I'll give you final numbers on how much we're able to sell at the end of it all. So there's just an update. Thanks. Hey friends. Well, the plant sale is over. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on the ending numbers. I just did crunch them all, and so I would say it did pretty well, but I'll let you judge that for yourself. So we did a total of $363.53 in sales. Yes, we did. So it did pretty well, I would say. And then that was just for the plant sale itself. I actually took all of the leftover plants and took them to my favorite reclaimed building supply store, where I have a friend that works there, who's really excited to take off my hands the rest of them all. And so I sold all of those for another $190. So that comes to a total of $553 that I actually got for all of the plants that I made, and starting several months ago. And that's not all, actually, because I gave my brother 2 trays worth of plants, another friend of mine 2 trays worth of plants, and I kept a good 4 trays worth of plants for myself. And since I estimate that each tray was worth about $20 based on the prices that I was selling them at the plant store, That's another $160 worth of plants that I either kept and used for my own backyard homestead here, or that I was able to give away. So total, it looks like I started about $713 worth of plants. And actually, because that's not all profit, because some of that money I did have to pay, I did have to buy some garden soil and some seeds, and then some plastic trays, and then the inserts for the trays and things like that. And those all cost me about $150. So the actual total for the money that I actually made from the ones that I sold, minus how much I had to pay, my total profit was actually about $400. And then of course the ones that I was able to give away and keep myself were just kind of a bonus. So I would say it was definitely worth my time. I did not expect it to do quite that well, but I was really pleased with the way that it turned out. Would I do it again? Oh yeah, definitely I'll do it again next year. Even though before the plant sale I was feeling a little bit stressed out, things have been really busy in my life and I wasn't really sure how I was going to have time to be able to do this. I'm glad that I went ahead and, did do it. And I definitely do think that if it isn't going to be too busy next year, we'll definitely try and start some to sell again, because maybe I can start building up people who will buy them every year and just get an established, amount of people coming each time. And then, of course, I can sell all of my leftovers for a reduced price to my favorite building supply store, reclaimed building supply store. So I think that's a pretty good plan. Pretty good way for it all to have gone down. So some things that I learned, the thing that sold the best obviously was definitely tomatoes. Everybody who came through bought pretty much at least one tomato, so those definitely did very well. And I'm really glad that I did start so many, because there were a lot to choose from. Things that didn't do quite so well would probably be the leafy greens, or at least some of the more obscure ones, because even though I know what bok choy is and I know what endive is, most people, maybe I found out, don't. So I would definitely maybe plant just a little bit less of those, because they didn't do quite as well. And then lastly, I did notice that a lot of people wanted me to know a lot about plants. I mean, everyone who came by was like, oh, a delicious tomato, what's that? Or, oh, well, I really want to grow a big tomato, which one is going to be good for that? And I'd say, oh, porterhouse, that's a big one. So definitely, if you decide to start some seeds and sell the plants yourself, I would highly recommend making sure that you know your plants really well, because they are going to expect you to be like an expert on what you're growing and what each thing is and how big everything will get and all this kind of stuff. So definitely would recommend that. But otherwise, obviously this could be a pretty lucrative business if you wanted to. If you are trying to justify the cost of a greenhouse, you could easily say, well, I'm going to start some plants, and that will definitely help pay for the cost of it all. So and if you're worried about not making your money back, I wouldn't be, because there's really a big business out here for it. Like I mentioned earlier, for how much, the big box stores were selling them for $3.50, and I sold mine for $1.50. That's less than half the price. I mean, people just came in flocks. I mean, there was just lots of people who were buying them. And again, the Reclaimed Building Supply Store was so excited to take them off my hands and was actually going to sell them for more than I was even going to sell them for. So there's definitely a big business out there for it. So it's not really all that much of a risk. So, well, thanks for joining me and everything that I've learned on the plant sale. And hopefully, this could be helpful to you sometime. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.